As you may already know by now, September 30th, Trump took it upon himself to issue a statement via his Truth Social platform in which, as you can read, he viciously insulted Mitch McConnell and his wife and typed in capital letters death wish, which, even though, if I'm being charitable, and believe me, it's really hard to be charitable toward this guy, but I have a feeling he wasn't intending it in the way the media is suggesting he might be intending it. However, given the current climate, even if you're not intending something, this message is so unbelievably ignorant and so potentially leading to something dangerous that overall it's just a horrific idea. But this is Trump. He's doing this kind of thing all the time. And I thought I would mention that his planets explain what he did here rather brilliantly, because it's one thing to point out that the major transiting planets, as in Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Jupiter in early Aries, Saturn at around 19 degrees Aquarius, Uranus near the middle of Taurus, Neptune in the 23 range of Pisces, Pluto in late Capricorn. All of them are poorly placed, very clearly explaining why he is in the jam that he's in through multiple investigations, possible indictments, etc. However, when it comes to this particular event, it's the kind of thing that you look to the faster moving planets to possibly get some insight. The first thing is that at the time that he launched this missive, you would look at the lunar position for a clue, and it happened to be around 9 degrees Sagittarius, which puts it in trine to his Pluto. And this is going to lead him into easily expressing his willfulness, his domineering, totalitarian even nature. So in other words, it makes for easy expression of something that may or may not be in your best interests. And then you notice that the Mercury was about to turn direct. It's been retrograde for a while in the 24th degree of Virgo. There you have your first problem, because this is a communication. Mercury is squaring the sun, squaring the moon. That would be a clue. Be careful what you say, it may not work out so well. Then we notice that Venus and Sun, these two were transiting such that the Sun was at 7 degrees Libra, over here, a little past the Neptune, while the Venus was at 1 degree Libra. And so these two are effectively triggering the infamous Access Hollywood T-square, which is formed by Neptune opposite Eris square Mercury. And I've said before many times in many videos that he either hates it or steps in it whenever this Access Hollywood T is triggered, which is what's happened here for the umpteenth time. And now he has to deal with the fallout, which you can see shown by the astrology in that September 30th is the event date, but then the planets keep moving. And so the Sun at 7 degrees Libra needs to get to at least 10:57 here on the 4th, almost 12 on the 5th, in order to get beyond the last planet in the Access Hollywood T-square. And Venus trails because it's moving behind the Sun, so it needs to get all the way to the 8th. So this means a few more days where the issue continues to be relevant. Beyond that, what's happening here is the Mars, notice that it's very close to opposing his moon, conjoining his Sun, which means we're going to get the typical Trump reaction, lots of aggression, vulgar statements, and combat. Basically bellicose behavior. It's pretty much all he knows, and you have to realize that this Mars continues past those degrees, but it's going to station. Turns out that late in the month it stations at 25 and then backtracks over these degrees again as we go into November, strongly suggesting that this guy is going to get more and more angry as we move toward the election, which chances are, in fact, not chances are, 100% will involve other issues as well. You can see that the mercury getting into the Access Hollywood tea is going to probably correlate with another thing that he says, because this guy keeps manufacturing problems day after day. But the Mars tells us that he's going to be in quite a rage for at least the next couple of months, since you see it here right now, pretty much precisely opposite his moon, but then it'll conjoin the sun, go a bit past, and hang around these degrees for quite a long time. All of this, in my opinion, is not good for the Republican Party going into the midterm elections in early November, because if you want to keep the Senate, like they say they want to keep the Senate, the last thing anyone in the party should be doing is attacking the leader of the Senate. It would seem to me that that's simply bad politics.